Okay, so today we're going to be making the robotic arm that's used in industries. So first off, we're going to go to the top plane and go to sketch. In the sketch, we draw a circle. This is basically we're going to start with the base of the robotic arm, which is used to mount it on the any surface with the nuts and screws. So just draw a circle, give it a dimension of 300 millimeters. After giving it the dimension, make sure that this bottom uh, bottom right option is on mmgs, which is millimeters. After giving it that right dimension, we move out of the sketch and go to extrude boss base. In extrude boss base, give it the dimension of 75 millimeters. Extrude it and say OK. Then after that, go to the fillet drop down menu and there's an option of chamfer. Click that and click on the corner, this edge. After that, say okay, this is what we want. The standard conditions in there are 10 millimeters of chamfer and 45-degree angle, so it's done at 10 millimeters and at an angle of 45. After that, we move on to the rear surface. Go to sketch. On the rear surface, we first off click on this edge that's highlighted and say convert entities, this option. Click that, it'll draw a circle. We need that for connecting the next part we're about to draw. This is basically the hinges that hold the base where the screws or nuts are attached. We draw a center line in the line drop down menu. There's a center line. We take that and draw it outwards. Make sure it's horizontal. Press escape to move out of the drawing phase. Take it again. This time connect the line from here. If you connect it directly, it draws a tangent. So first draw the horizontal part. I think it's even better if we were to take the midpoint line because we have the center line here. We take the midpoint line, this drop down menu midpoint line. So we draw it from just again midpoint line and click here and obviously draw it out this way, and afterwards press escape. We also need to draw two more normal lines that will be connecting with this circle, one on this side and the other on the opposite side. Needs to be fully horizontal, and from this use smart dimension and give this the dimension of 75 millimeters, and afterwards give this the dimension of 50 millimeters. Now these are 50 millimeters. Let me just check. Yes, these are. Press escape, and from this go to trim entities, this drop down menu, and the circle that we drew in order to connect this part, we needed to remove it, otherwise it'll cause problems later. We just remove that and say okay, and the sketch is complete in this case scenario. Now we simply extrude it. This will basically be the base of the robot arm, and this will be the mounting point basically. So we extrude it by how much, you ask. You give it the dimension of 5 millimeters. Let me see if 5 millimeters is the appropriate dimension. I think 5 is too small. Also invert direction. Under direction, there's the button. We need it to be above, starting from this plane and come above. We say this to 10 millimeters. We extrude it to 10 millimeters. That seems about right. and say OK. Also, merge result is on in this case scenario, this option, merge result below the dimension. Say OK, this is what we need. Then we go to the fillet drop down menu and select chamfer. It opens up and you select this corner as well as this corner. In the angle, we select 75 degrees, as well as in the dimensions, we select 7 millimeters. I'm not sure why it's showing at such a steep angle. Let me see. I think 45 was the right value. I think 45 was the right value at 7 millimeters of chamfer. Okay, this seems about right. Then we go to sketch on this surface. Once in the sketch plane, select line, and from here, select this point, this corner, move it up to this line, move it outwards, and give it a slight slant like this. Connect it to this line, and then connect it to this line again to complete the whole loop. Use smart dimension, click on this point as well as this point, and move it upwards so that it turns in this direction. Give it the dimension of 17.68. Afterwards, select this point and give it the dimension is 25.32, which is the correct. In this case, it already took the correct dimension, but if it doesn't, this line needs to be 25.32. But in this case, it already is appearing to be 25.32. So we move on to the outside the sketch. We move outside the sketch and extrude it. In extrude, change the direction with this button below the direction controller, and change the amount to it decreases by increments. So just change it manually, give it 9 millimeters is the right amount. Okay, 9 millimeters, extrude this way. Say okay, this is what we need, and select this surface and select sketch. In the sketch, go to the line drop down menu and select center line. We need the center of this curve that's developing. So it is the center, yes, this. And draw a center line outwards. It doesn't need to be too far, just needs to be horizontal. Press escape, and we need another one of those that we will drop down from this to this point. Yes. Press escape again, and now go to the polygon. In polygon, 6-sided is selected. We will draw a polygon here, and you make sure that the sides are such that this is what we want. This in this way, the tips or the corner are lying on this line, this center line. In the smart dimension, go to this side of the polygon, and we need it to be 6. Press enter. Yep, it decreased the size of the entire polygon. And then we say okay, and still in smart dimension, we also need to specify the distance from here to here, which is going to be 13.5. press enter. This is correct. And after that, we say okay, we move out of the sketch and we simply extrude this by 3 millimeters. Let me see. Not 9, 3.5 is the correct value. I think I misplaced a point, which is why it's turning yellow. Yeah. So this will be one of the nuts that holds this assembly down. Press OK. This is what we need. Next, in the features, we select mirror and open this drop down menu. But before we do that, it needs a plane or something that a direction in which it will mirror. So open this drop down menu and select this plane that's in the middle of this drawing that we did, because we need to mirror this nut and this wedge that we created. So the nut is already selected. We also need to go to the faces features to mirror and select this. So now it's showing a preview. If your preview isn't showing, just say full preview or partial preview. This in the left window, you can see full preview or partial preview, and it's showing the preview. We'd say yes, this is what we need. And now it's complete this mount. We need to have 4 of these a total. So we go to linear pattern, drop down menu. There's a circular pattern. In the circular pattern, the last feature that you corrected or performed will be selected automatically, but first we need to give it the direction. So we select this top face, and then we need to select the face or the feature that we need to mirror. So we will remove this and select this entire. So delete this because it was only mirroring the last thing we did, which was this side and the nuts. So in features and faces, we go and select from this tree, this left tree, we select this, this, as well as the mirrored components and the individual assemblies, the bottom part. So all these are selected so that all these are mirrored. Now you can see the side portions, the nuts, and the base part. All of these are being mirrored onto this. We need a total of 4 of these. Press enter. So yes, that's their equal spacing. This option is selected. And we say, okay, this is what we need. So this is the bottom mount. Okay, so in the front face, we go to sketch. And in sketch, we go to circle in the center. And after drawing circle about a big, go to dimensions and dimension it 260. 260 is done. And also select not select the dimensions, go out of the smart dimension tab, select this corner and say convert entities. So we will need this, but first we will need to draw a center line, 2 sets of center lines, from this side to this side. Needs to be fully horizontal. Make sure that little 180 or 0 degrees is showing up next to it. And the second center line we need to draw will be obviously from this side to this side. Again, it's showing 90, meaning it's fully perpendicular, fully defined, or fully straight. From the center, draw 2 of these lines as so, and draw another one again from this center to this point, and go to smart dimension, click on the line as well as this center line that we've created and give it the dimension 30. Okay, do the same with the other one. Click this and click this. They were almost 30. Okay, 30 is this. And afterwards, we are going to need, basically, we need to trim the entities. So we trim away this part, as well as any other of the circles that we drew. Make sure to move this around to remove any of the unwanted. We just need this little rectangle that's curved around the periphery of this. So we remove this, remove this. The center lines will not be an issue, but other lines will usually cause issues. So we remove all of that. Just this side, and this side. This little rectangle stays. Okay, so we will, after this created, we will extrude cut it. Extruded cut. And we will cut it to the maximum length. This will be a full cut on this side, and it will appear as so. Just a second, that cut we made, we need to edit that feature and make sure that that is not deeper than 60 degrees. 60, right? And that's the place of point there. So it'll be this deep. It won't cut through the surface, through the bottom. After that has been created, we will sketch on this surface once more and draw a circle that will be 230 in diameter. 230. You can just type it out here while drawing the circle. You don't need to keep using smart dimension, but 230 will be the let me check. I think I'm doing this wrong. I think it's 130. So apparently that's the radius, which is why it's causing the circle to be bigger than this. So might as well use smart dimension and apply 220. Press enter, and this is what we need. From that, we exit the sketch and we go to features, in which we go to extrude, and the amount that we need to extrude, we decrease it to 9, basically. Let me just manually type that value here. 9, and make sure to press a point. There's this option at the bottom, it's called draft, so we click that as well and then give it the value of 45 degrees. So now you will see something like this. Obviously your preview will be on, but if not, this is what should be made. And say, okay, this is what we need. Okay, the final step is you click here and select sketch, draw a circle, and dimension that circle to 30 millimeter. Press enter, small circle, and then go to features and extrude it by 20. And this will be the last feature that we need to make on this. You need to save this. It will be this high. Save this as the robotic arm base, so we can use it in the final iteration, or the final when we assemble the individual parts.